Welcome to Stab the Dragon Productions, number 218, Whiskey Review number 67, and American Catechism Military Whiskey Review number 2. This past week, we celebrated the 249th birthday of the United States of America. So, as usual, I try to celebrate a patriotic holiday with some kind of a patriotic whiskey. Today's choice: Hotel Tango Rye Ready to Drink. I previously reviewed the Hotel Tango Ready to Drink bourbon on January 16th of 2024 on my YouTube channel, Stab the Dragon. So here's the facts. This military whiskey distillery is owned and operated by Travis Barnes, a United States Marine Recon combat veteran. He and his wife Hillary started this distillery in 2013 in Indianapolis, Indiana. This whiskey is a straight rye using a 95.5, I think, recipe from MGP in Lawrenceburg, Indiana. Weighing in at 100 proof, I purchased this at Goody Goody here in Fort Worth for $37.99 in 2023. Tasting notes. This is an average Indiana straight rye with some rye spice and pine needles flavor. I gave it a score of 82. Letter grade for drinkability, a B. Recommendation. I think this whiskey is primarily for the military and veteran community, and while it is a decent rye whiskey, it's not an above average rye. It's fairly mediocre. The coolness factor for this whiskey is, however, extremely high, especially if you are military related. And I like supporting veteran-owned businesses, and this whiskey, I think, was worthy of purchase for the price. However, there are better rye whiskeys for the price if you're looking for high quality in your taste experience. So here are some details. Travis Barnes, after 9/11, dropped out of college and enlisted in the USMC in 2002. He served in the 1st Recon Battalion in Iraq doing 3 combat tours. He suffered injuries from IEDs, and he attained the rank of sergeant. He fought in Fallujah, Ramadi, some of the toughest battles since Vietnam. He returned home, finished law school, married his wife Hillary, who he met in law school, and in 2013 they founded Hotel Tango. The Hotel Tango uses the military phonetic alphabet for HT, which stands, of course, for Hillary and Travis. So a nice little love story is built into this whiskey experience, along with the military angle. So there's a lot right there. This distillery was also the first distillery in Indianapolis since Prohibition days, and it is the first combat-disabled, veteran-owned distillery in the United States. Now, Hotel Tango products are sold on over 50 military bases around the country. I think it's Navy bases primarily. This rye whiskey won gold in the 2022 SIP Awards. So for history, 5 points out of 5 for Hotel Tango Rye Ready to Drink. Bottle label and marketing. And I'm just going to read this whole bottle label to you because it is so rich and funny. This is just one of my favorite bottles. Okay, it is a flask-shaped bottle, and the label looks like an MRE. So here's an MRE for comparison. See, I mean, the similarity there is deliberate, and it's well done, definitely. So let me read this. Okay, distilled with discipline, straight rye whiskey, Hotel Tango, rye ready to drink. Pour with purpose, high standard issue, serve with honor. Purpose of contents: to be served and consumed in pursuance of elevated company morale. 50% alcohol by volume, 100 proof. Notice it says to pour this side down. to store this side up. I mean, this is all typical military lingo here. Contents on the back: straight rye whiskey, aged for 2 years. Description: spicy finish, subtle sweetness, deceptively smooth, Sazerac ready. Directions: water down at your own risk. Production: distilled by MGP, Lawrenceburg, Indiana. Bottled by Hotel Tango, Indianapolis, Indiana. Beverage ration: HTRW, Hotel Tango Rye Whiskey. Drink in a cool, dry place. So this is just outstanding. Bottle, label, and marketing: 5 out of 5 points. Well done, sir. And the fact that Barnes got this into the Navy BXs around the country, fantastic. Appearance of this whiskey: this is, you know, nice medium grade whiskey. I would give it a 3 out of 5. Here it is in the glass. So that's a 3 out of 5, maybe a low 3, but it's there. Composition: coming in at 100 proof. This is distilled in MGP in Lawrenceburg, Indiana, but it is aged by Hotel Tango. As a straight rye, it is 2 years old. I think that the mash bill is 95.5. That really tastes like it. I swear I saw that in print in a couple of reviews or interviews or something, but I can't find it now, so I couldn't confirm it. It really does taste like a 95.5. And I appreciate the clarity on the label, actually saying that it's distilled at MGP. So for composition, 13 out of 15 points. Nose: very light rye spice, just a touch of sweetness. Really, it's a fairly pleasant nose, but faint. So 7 out of 10 is kind of my basic score for nose, because my nose is just inadequate for smelling of whiskeys. 7 out of 10. Taste: cheers. Immediately I get the rye spice up front. There are hints of pine needles, which is common with me in ryes, which I love. I'm a big fan of rye whiskeys. It tamps down on the sweetness. The sweetness is there, but compared with a bourbon, you know, I prefer ryes to bourbons actually, because the sweetness is really tamped down some. Maybe some mint. Let me try again. A little bit of mint going on there. Spicy, peppery notes are there. Generally speaking, though, this is not a very loud rye, especially for 100 proof. It's pretty smooth for 100 proof. It's a straight rye, so that means it's aged for 2 years. But to me, I doubt that it's older than 2. I mean, it's very young. And so this is a good rye, but it seems just a tad bit weak in some character. And just kind of a generic MGP rye. MGP is fantastic. I mean, they put out more rye whiskey than anybody else in the world. And so a lot of people source their ryes from MGP because they're good quality. This is very drinkable, enjoyable, but nothing to really stand out. Okay, it's not going to slap you around and announce itself. So there's nothing really remarkable here. I'm going to say it's a good utilitarian, basic, average rye. 19 of 25. I mean, there's really nothing wrong with it. It's just not really real bold. It's not, none of the flavors are leaping out. It's very generic. So 19 out of 25. The mouthfeel, burn, and finish. It's a medium mouthfeel. And the burn is actually fairly mild for a 100 proof. So it's really a very pleasant experience here. I think the finish is a tad weak. So kind of a medium finish, medium to light finish. 12 out of 15 for mouthfeel, burn, and finish. The burn initially goes up just a little bit in the sinuses. It's more in the mouth, but nothing really going down. So I would say that, you know, if somebody looks at that and says it's 100 proof and they're scared of it, this is a pretty mild-mannered 100 proof rye. So 12 out of 15 for mouthfeel, burn, and finish. All right, we do, the next category is neat and mixer. Neat is perfectly fine, okay, and I think it would do okay on ice. Although with the flavors being so mild, you might lose a little bit there, but the proof is pretty good. So generally speaking, I don't do whiskey on the rocks, but I did make an old-fashioned. This is actually all the time that I make an old-fashioned at home, I use bourbons. This is maybe the first time I've used a rye in an old-fashioned. So here we go. And that is pretty good. I think, you know, I think that works very well as a mixer for an old-fashioned. I'm still getting the rye spice. I'm still getting a little bit of that 100 proof. I mean, you know, the proof is still there, even though I've got ice in there. And I may have put just a tad too much sugar, but it's okay. So I would say, yeah, neat or mixer, 5 points out of 5, because it's fine, neat. I think it would be great on ice, and it's definitely actually pretty darn good in an old-fashioned. Price, value, and availability. I bought this at Goody Goody in Fort Worth for $37.99. Total Wine had it for $36.99. Specs does not have it. This is a, for value, it's a decent 95.5 MGP rye. Decent price for 100 proof, certainly. So it's got good value, I think, and decent availability. I've read that this military whiskey has been distributed to most of the Navy bases in America, and so it's going to be available at the Class 6 stores on base. Only 8 out of 10 points, though. The price is a bit high for the quality, and you know, a little bit limited distribution in my area. So only 8 out of 10 for price, value, and availability. Bonus points, though. I'm going to give it 5 out of 5 for bonus points. I love this distillery. I love what they're doing. I love their history behind there, the military record behind it, and the love story that goes into the name. I mean, absolutely. So there's so much to really like about Hotel Tango Distillery. And, you know, if I'm ever in Indianapolis, I would definitely look it up. I mean, I don't travel, so that's never going to happen. But if you're in Indianapolis, I would definitely look them up, because, you know, this is solid. So 5 out of 5 bonus points, giving me a total score of 82. Letter grade for drinkability is solid B. And my analysis and recommendation. This whiskey, again, is primarily for the military and veteran community. And while it's decent, it's certainly not an above average rye. It's fairly mediocre. Many distilleries, probably most, will source a lot of their whiskeys as they get started. And many use MGP, which is, again, the massive rye supplier for the world. The coolness factor for this whiskey is, however, very high. So if you are military related or just love military stuff in general, I would support this veteran-owned business, and this whiskey is worthy of purchase for the price. However, if you're only about flavor, I would say there are better rye whiskeys for the price if you're looking for a high-quality rye experience. So my conclusion, next holiday whiskey coming up should be July 17th. Is that a holiday, you ask? What's on July 17th? Well, that is the anniversary of the Battle of Bower Hill in the Whiskey Rebellion of 1794. And for that special day, I will be reviewing this whiskey right here, McFarland's Reserve 4-grain straight bourbon, which is a Total Wine Spirits Direct sourced bourbon that commemorates that famous battle. And I think he was a Major McFarland who was key to that battle. And this was a traumatic event in American history, and so I will look forward to discussing that historical situation and studying this whiskey next time. But for now, this is Stab the Dragon Productions and American Catechism, looking at Hotel Tango Rye Ready to Drink. Out here.